as a result of war, for the injured and disabled, for the mentally distressed.
We will remember that.
Up until 250 years ago, the Falkland Islands were untouched. Then men arrived to breed sheep and hunt whales. Over the centuries, the islands changed hands many times.
In 1833, a row broke out between Argentina and the United Kingdom over the rightful ownership of the Falklands. Then, 35 years ago, war erupted. The UK won, but despite this, the dispute remains unresolved. Argentina is as unwilling to relinquish its claim on the Malvinas as the UK is to abandon its claim to the Falklands.
Today, 3,000 inhabitants, more than 1,000 British soldiers and 500,000 sheep share the Falkland Islands.
Falklands Radio.
Coming up on the show this morning then, we'll take a look and see who's celebrating here in the islands today. We do know, however, that it's Ingrid's birthday today, so a huge happy birthday to you, Ingrid, from the whole team.
When you see a vehicle travelling along the road, you wave at the driver. I do a big wave because I do a big policeman's wave because I'm driving a big policeman's truck. But it's something called the Falklands finger, and you'll see them, and literally all you'll do is you'll see a finger just stuck above the steering wheel. So that's what it is. If anybody says to you, what is the Falklands finger, it's not what you might think it is, it's that. It's a little acknowledgement to say hello.
Falkland Islands Defence Force is basically the local indigenous army of the Falklands. We are the locals that are here all year round, 365 days a year, and we know the ground the best out of anyone. For me personally, the FIDF is a massive part of my life. So I joined at 16, so as soon as I could I joined. I've been in 13 years now, and I've got my day job like everyone else, but every week we put on our uniform, we do a full week at work, and then Friday night we're out on exercise, or we're doing a patrol, or on an observation post.
Circumstance of capture, embarrassingly,
ran out of ammo.
Shot, then ran out of ammo.
Whether you surrender, you cowardly dog, and come near me.
Sorry,
Get you
boss.
from bow to stern. Feed you the dogs.
Didn't get shot though.
Hold over there. Get away from that weapon.
There's a lot of different cultures here. There's a big community from people from St. Helena and Ascension. There's people from Peru. There's people from Chile.
Zimbabwe now.
Zimbabwe, yeah. I think there's even like people from like Russia and things.
There are
It's
some Russians. Yeah.
quite a mixed community, really, when you think about
The
it.
Filipinos.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of people here from all over. You know, and if people know about my background, They know I'm a Falkland Islander. They'll call me Falkland. I call myself Falkland Islander. It's just if people go into further, I'll be like, oh yeah, I was born in Argentina. But that's as far as that goes. I don't really have any connections there. I wouldn't call it home. I don't have anything apart from the language, and I like the music and the food. I was born in Argentina. My mum got married and I was born over there along with my brother and sister. And then she moved us back here. And I've been here since I was 7. You know, some of the things that Argentina says and does about the Falklands does annoy me. Obviously a lot of the time, and sometimes I feel like, oh my God, why are you doing that? Like, stop it. And I would say sometimes I wouldn't want to say I was born there because of some of the horrible things they can say or do. But I would never not say that I wasn't born there because I was.
You can't walk on York Bay at the moment. It's one of the areas that's still mined. And these are the mines that were set down by the Argentine military after they invaded. And there are plans to rid that area of mines, I think, in the next visit from the deminers. It's dangerous. And also what you do is you get the shift of mines from the other headland, so you don't know whether or not if you step into the surf there and step on one. I wouldn't particularly want to try it. It's also a criminal offence. So anybody that decides to walk across the top of walk into a minefield, as well as being stupid, they could get arrested for that.
You've been taking carpentry lessons.
Level out, please.
Cut that out. International television. Oh, I missed it.
Yeah.
Missed it. Wrong one.
Oh, was it?
Fine. Yes.
Yeah.
Dare Friday, yeah. Thank you.
In regards to peace, well, there's been peace here since 1982. The only time there wasn't peace here was that 74 days when they invaded, and ever since then it's been very peaceful, thanks to the British deterrent, which avoids any further aggression from Argentina. They still claim the Falklands. It's in their constitution, and every single Argentine is taught that the Falklands is theirs, and that's how they're brainwashed. So it's very hard to change people's minds when they're that deeply entrenched in their thoughts, and they're not willing to see the truth for themselves.
They're still hooked on the past.
Hooked on the past, and the way that they're indoctrinated in their schools, as you say, and they don't want to lose face. You know, they're taught at school that Malvinas son Argentinas, and that's it. You know, and but from a different race of people. You know, they're just.
You know, we're a society built on immigration, natural immigration over the last couple of 100 years, and we've got our very own identity, but we're very much British. But unfortunately, a lot of them come down and they still believe they're in Argentina, and they wave their Argentine flags and they provoke islanders, and it's just not appropriate behaviour to be.
Those people come with agenda, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your main reasons for trying to get Claudia?
Just being a local, I guess.
Yeah, so for you, is there pride of your own country?
Yeah, just living here pretty much. Just being a part of it.
There's a lot to do. So you try to fit it all around your day job as well, but it does make a nice change from like a very intensive job for me personally, being a teacher, to then come and do something totally different, albeit still under a lot of pressure, but in a different sort of scenario.
They generally concentrate our policing here in Stanley where the great majority of the people that live in the Falkland Islands are present. What we get here generally, crime-wise, is low-level stuff, mainly connected with alcohol consumption. We'll have the low-level assaults, black eyes, somebody get punched in the eye, or a tooth knocked out, or drunken disorderly. They do have sex-related crime, but that's alcohol-related too in some respects. They're drunk. Good evening.
Can we have a selfie with you, please?
Yeah, of course.
We're on a hen night and we need...
Oh, right.
I thought it was Halloween, sorry.
Do you want me to put the light on?
Yes, please. Brilliant. Yay.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
All right, no worries. You take care. Brilliant. I'm obviously giving them tasks. If you commit a serious offence here, say for instance someone decides they're going to go and rob a bank, they're pretty limited as to what they can do afterwards, because you'd have to wait for either one of the two flights to go, or you would have to get on a vessel, and you can't do any of those things. It's not like you can get in a car and go across a border. So you know, we're quite fortunate. The opportunity to commit crime here is far less. Yes, yes, so we're down in the Narrows at the moment, Ever.
Yeah, but you can make this a sweep, please. All we can start make allegation of criminal damage.
Control 577 on scene, Ever.
Obviously, thank you, over.
Let's find out what's happening.
He just punched my taxi window out, trying to insult one of my customers.
Okay, someone smashed the window out, mate, that's all. Try to go for
He went very racist. Racist. Yeah.
Right, okay. He's been racist or something towards him. He's a Spanish or Chilean or something like that. Listen, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to arrest you, but listen, but I'm going to street bail you. He's not going to be coming to your house, madam, to come and do anything to your property, okay?
I don't give a fuck about my property. I care about my fucking boyfriend.
Right, okay, well, that's not going to happen. Please just calm it, okay? It's being dealt with, all right?
I think there's this on the corner.
Oh, God. What is it?
There's a fight around here.
We're right here at the right time, over. Right, can you all go home then, please? Thanks. They said there's over 450 islands here. Not all of them are lived on. Most weekends people will just go off and spend a week on one of the islands, and it's quite an active little airfield, that is. They got far less number of people living on the west than they do the east. They're traditionally farms, mainly sheep farming, so there'll be farming for wool. You have some beef farming over there, but these communities we're talking, maybe half a dozen people on one settlement. People do prefer the west. They say the west is best. They say it's a lot greener. There's a lot of miles between the different settlements. It's unspoilt, and that's what a lot of people like.
Bailey! Bailey, go and lie down.
How long does it take you to go to Stanley?
If you fly, it's only like an hour, but that's quite expensive. So
We usually go on the ferry, and it's like 3 hours to Port Howard, and then the ferry is another hour and a half, and then another 2 hours. So what's that? 5-6 hours to get to Stanley, and it's a long trip.
How often do you come back to the main capital?
Once a month usually. We'll get not all of our shopping, but quite a lot of stuff. I knew I wanted to be a shearer from when I was about 11. So I worked hard at school and I got good grades, but it wasn't what I wanted to do. I could have done A-levels at college, but I just chose not to.
In our perspective, it looks like a lot of work right now.
No, busier in the summertime, but you get used to it.
So what do you do at your spare time here?
Don't really have much spare time because you always got things to do like animals. You've got hens and dogs and horses.
You lived your whole life here, or
Yeah.
were you ever abroad?
No, till I left school, and then I went to the UK to work.
How was this?
Yeah, it was all right. Quite enjoyed it. Different lifestyle.
For how long were you there?
I was only there for a couple of months, and then I come back for a few months, like the season, and then went away again.
And why you decided to come back?
Because I missed home. Yeah, it was a bit too busy for me over there, really.
What exactly do you prefer here on the farm than, let's say, in England or in London, big city?
Open space and quietness, and there's nobody around but yourself.
I've been here 3 years, and it took me a little while to understand how the community works. I think maybe the fear, there's this fear of change here, and there's always assumption that when we come down from the UK mainland, that we're going to have our big ideas from the city, and quite often it's not the case. Sometimes we get an idea that there's a little bit of kind of anti-contractor feeling, especially when it's, say, when there's a perception that we're trying to change their way of life. I want to be somewhere where I feel wanted, and sometimes I don't truly get that feeling. Likewise, you know, I'm going to mention it as well. It's about our Argentine visitors that come here. I think that anybody who comes to these islands as a holidaymaker should be made to feel welcome whilst they're here. And sometimes I think that there is just a little bit of xenophobia here sometimes, and I think it's ugly.
That boy. Bye. No.
Falklands Radio.
Stanley Road forecast. The Stanley Road is currently restricted due to ice. Further wintry showers today are expected to lead to restrictions to the Stanley Road overnight due to snow and ice.
hear in the news like everything that's been happening around the world, which has been awful. And I would take not having bananas for a couple of weeks any day over the stuff that we don't even have to worry about.
Terrorism and stuff, exactly.
I couldn't see me having a family anywhere else in the world.
But I think one problem there is actually, I mean, in your age, I think it's not that easy to find a partner here on Falklands.
I have a partner. So, yeah. Yeah, I think it can be hard, and I think it goes back to everyone knowing everyone. So I think sometimes as a girl, you know, if you see a guy, you grew up with them and you know of them, so maybe you're a bit put off if they've done something a bit, you know, weird or something. It can be easy knowing someone, but at the same time it can put you off, I guess. Or it can make it more difficult.
It must be quite hard. I know when, I know, not naming any names, but I was speaking to someone who was in their early 30s and they'd gone on to Tinder and there was only about 4 people.
Yeah, what is Tinder? Not down here.
One was out in like a ship in the middle of the South Atlantic, but it came within the zone. So she was like, "Oh look," and they're just like, "Oh no."
Yeah, never mind.
It's just, it must be quite hard when you're, you know.
Yeah, there's not as many people here, so that whole saying like there's plenty more fish in the sea doesn't always work down here too well. Yeah. Oh, Tinder.
Falklands Radio.
Feeling cold with sunny spells and occasional wintry showers of snow and hail at times. Maximum temperatures of 2 Celsius are expected.
This leads us on to what we, as expats from the UK, call Fixmas here, which is Falkland Island Christmas. Generally Christmas time here in the islands is sunshine, and it can get up to around about 40 degrees. But for us, as being Northern Hemisphere dwellers, we're used to nice cold Christmases and nice frosty and darkness at night time early and dark in the mornings.
Not putting stuff on there.
There's a dinky crackers. Where are they? Right, make sure they go above.
And loaves and fishes, bread and wine, bless us all at dinner time. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Amen. It doesn't want to snap. Hold on. Pull the snap on that one. Just pull the snap.
Where is the snap? Is mine the USB?
It's not a keyring, it's a USB as well.
Oh, it's a USB as well.
And Zina, do you want to stay here? Like, how long do you want to stay here?
I would like to finish my working life here, so I'm quite happy to do about another 10 years, which will take me to 57. Our plans initially...
2 years more then.
But the others are labelled.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest, I have a different view because it is a very, very small place, and the place is beautiful, you can't get away from that whatsoever. But it's just, sometimes I find it a little bit difficult with the small mindset that some have, and the massive amount of control that one person can have over something. And if I have to deal with a particular incident, there is this kind of feeling of self-entitlement sometimes I get with some folk here who they, you know, it's all right for me to go and arrest or do something to a contractor or somebody who is visiting or temporarily here like me or like us. But when it then comes to a local person that might go and do something, it's like, no, but I'm a local. It's like, well, actually, hang on a minute. No, you are the same as all of us.
You hardly do work for money. If you go and work for someone, then it's usually kind of a I'll come help you and then you can come help me sometime. Like if you're moving sheep in a really big place or anything really. Yeah. Because, well, I guess money isn't too important for us because we prefer like enjoying the most out of every day and like all the beautiful scenery, the animals, everything. Yeah, no, I'd like to grow old here because it's such a beautiful place. It'd be nice to just kind of sit in an old rocking chair and watch the sunset kind of thing when I'm old.
It would be a thing for you to take over the farm, the camp with that?
Yeah, definitely. We've talked about it quite a lot and I think he's keen for us to take it over, just not yet. We need to learn a bit more, I think. Get a bit better at doing things and more initiative.
Walking alone too late, I couldn't climb your fortress walls. Taking a left, I find you're there waiting. How could you know? 3 long winters came, change your mind. A season that holds you closer, wills you to die. But you know it's so bright.